Well, that's a great way to start. But I have so much in my heart and my head right now, I do not really need this paper. But again, welcome. And I want to thank that fifth grade chorus again for that fabulous rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. Not here, but there are themes in there. The themes of fear and struggle and hope and abiding faith. And I can almost see Chris Shea as a fifth grader in chorus singing this song. Red cheeks, a white shirt, and ever so blue eyes. Red, white, and blue, Christopher Shea, the all-American boy. And yes, if he had been standing here, he'd be fidgeting a bit, belting out the words and maybe even poking Alexander Green next to him, maybe Craig, because that was Chris. Full of energy, rarely still, in the moment, eyes straight ahead. So we stand here today together for this dedication. And let me briefly, and I mean very briefly, acknowledge the sadness, the loss that Bobby and Katie, Will and Andrew, John and Allison, friends and teachers will always feel. Life can be cruel. It casually takes away the people we love the most. What will never go away, however, are the wonderful gifts that Chris has given us, for they are etched in our hearts and our minds forever. So many memories. Melissa Noga shared with me a picture of Chris in first grade. She said every day he would greet her with that wide smile and those big blue eyes. It has been said that the eyes are the windows to the soul. His were deep and open to the world, to himself, and to infinite possibilities. In the last week of school, Melissa decided to forego the usual paper and pencil spelling test. Putting shaving cream on all the kids' desks, she told them to write their spelling words in shaving cream. So she walked around the room for a bit, and then she turned her attention back to Chris. Shaving cream was everywhere. It was in his hair, it was on his arms, it was in his hands, all over his face. And there was not one spelling word written on that desk. But there was the biggest of grins written on his face, as he knew Carpe Diem. Mr. Zaloom remembers Chris as one of the founding members of the Rocket Club. Jokingly, he recalls Chris, Porter Collett, Chris Colley as the knuckleheads who had such fun shooting off rockets and chasing rockets, and to this day he's still amazed that no one got injured out in these fields. And looking over the 9th grade trip pictures, Mr. Rucker said Chris was always in the middle of the pictures, always in the middle of things, always in the middle of people. He had that gravitational force which drew others to him. He was also the spoon that stirred the mix. I recall vividly his 9th grade year at GreenVale. I knew that Chris had superior academic potential, but seeing his SSAT scores, I realized just how smart he was. Underneath all of those last-minute assignments, all of those reminders for increased focus, and all of those pleas for greater organization, lay a magnificent brain, one with its electronic waves rolling and churning and breaking upon near and distant shores. In the 9th grade play, Guys and Dolls, how appropriate that Chris played the role of Mr. Nicely Johnson. I can still hear his showstopper, "Sit down, you're rocking the boat," or something like that. He must have understood the irony of that song, because when did Chris ever want to sit down, and when did Chris ever want not to rock the boat? Listen to how one Broadway critic summarized Nicely's personality traits. Cheery, kindly, a gambler, high-spirited, naive, sincere, genuine, friendly, loyal, and hungry. These were Chris's personality traits as well, especially the word hungry. His appetite for life was insatiable. How special, how appropriate, and how meaningful that we are here today to dedicate this space. Two of GreenVale's sacred values are represented here: family and friendship. As all parents here know, the essence of family relies on unconditional love, unblinking hope, and uncompromising hard work. As all classmates and teachers here know, the power of relationships, of true friendship, is sustained by genuine trust, honest sharing, and deep connection. The Christopher Care Shea Memorial is symbolically situated between a classroom and a playground. It looks out on the fields of dreams, and it welcomes you with Bob Dylan's words: "May your heart always be joyful, and may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young." May this setting provide for all who enter it, children and adults alike, the vibrant spirit of family and friendship, of childhood and innocence, and of reflection and action. Forever young, forever in our hearts, forever Christopher Shea. This dedicated space is now Chris's legacy to GreenVale, the legacy to greet the world wide-eyed and with a smile. And we smile today, Chris, with you, and we smile because of you. And again, I think also typically and symbolically, this is lower school field day. Last week was early childhood field day. Next week will be upper school field day. And as in the GreenVale tradition, and I think also representing Chris Shea, everyone should get an award. And this one says winner. And I think it's appropriate to recognize and applaud someone who ran the sprint and not the marathon, but truly was a winner and deserves a round of applause for Christopher Care Shea.